Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here, and welcome to a video all about Enchantress. I finally got the chance to sit down and watch the NetherRealm stream, and I watched about 10 minutes or so of it, and I'm like, I have a lot to say regarding this character. So I thought I'd make a video where I just kind of go through the stream, and I'll pause it at different times when I have some questions or want to add a little bit, or like usual, just like higher level strategy kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to get started here, so let's do this.
Fast.
Yeah, it caused a pretty nice knockdown. The only way you're going to get a combo off it, really, for the most part, is using that meter burn curse, which we'll cover later. But yeah, you kind of just have to commit to it. It is safe, but you're spending the bar on hit or miss.
She also has this 4-2-3, which is a mid, pretty good range. It's pretty fast, and you can actually meter burn it, and then they're trapped in a giant block of ice.
Right. So that's a meter burned normal.
Yes, it's a meter burn normal attack. There's a few of those in the game, and you can hit confirm this, which means like you can see, oh, it hit, and then you can go into the meter burn, and then you can get a free back 3.
Right.
And do a big combo.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you meter burn it before it hits. Like it.
So I just want to chime in real quick here. He said you meter burn it before it hits, which is going to make this extremely hard to kind of hit confirm. That being said, I feel like this move is going to be used a little bit more for whiff punishing. Like, for example, if Superman is doing his 4-2-3 and you see the first hit misses, or maybe like the first 2 hit misses, depending on the Superman you're playing, I guess, you can throw this move out and then meter burn it. But like, I think it's more of a guess right now on whether that kind of hits or not. Also, there might be a gap there. Don't exactly know, and how the meter burn affects that. Also don't really know. So just a couple questions I had. Anyways, I'll shut up now and get back into it.
Changes the beginning attack, so that also makes it so if you're punishing something that's pretty punishable, you can do 4-2-3 meter burn, back 3, forward 3, and it's all unclashable. So that's pretty nice.
And something we always talk about too, that a lot of fighting game fans really like, are advancing moves.
Oh yeah,
and that has a good bit of advancement to it.
Another one of her key normals is her back 2, which actually uses this magical energy sword.
Right. It's got more range than her forward 2, so you use it in those ranges where you maybe want to try and whiff punish something that it won't quite reach, or you think the person might walk back and you don't want to whiff right in front of their face, and
right,
etc. That's also a hit confirmable starting off the first 2 hits.
Now, when people thought that maybe Enchantress would be a zoner, as we're seeing with these moves, she does really try to control that middle ground.
Yeah, you can.
And I just want to say that kind of goes back a little bit to what I was talking about in my trailer video, which was that I think she's going to be a very defensive character, very lame character. And when people hear lame, they think, oh, she's going to be a zoner, she's going to just throw stuff at you. And no, she has to sit back, wait for your opponent to make a mistake, outspace them, and then attack them. Only attack when she can take full advantage of her spacing. And right here, she's got 2 great spacing tools that she can use to punish you for whiffing. She wants to kind of play that footsie game in and out, very, very patient and wait for you to make a wrong move, and then bam, she's got you. She's got 2 different options to do so. So I think when I made that video, a few people thought that when I said lame, I meant zoner. That's not at all what I meant. This is kind of what I meant, like very slow-paced, very back and forth kind of deal. So far, I've watched a bit of this. I haven't watched the whole thing, so maybe by the end I'll change my mind, but again, I'll shut up and we'll watch some more.
See, even her jump attacks are good today. This is her jump 2, and it's really, really good. A lot of range. And I think one more move to look at would be her 2-3 combo, which starts with this gut jab and then goes into this diamond. And the diamond has a lot of uses. You can actually just do it immediately and it's a combo, or you can hold it down and charge it, and if it's fully charged, it becomes an unblockable. And there's a unique twist to it. She also has 2-1, where she will hold it out, and if the opponent tries to attack, it's an auto parry that does a big chunk of damage.
So that's an interesting mix-up we haven't seen with a lot of different characters.
And she can dash out of it, she can cancel it. So like if the opponent, hey, I'm going to do the unblockable, and they're like, oh, I'm going to punish that unblockable, you'll never get me this time, you witch. Boom, they get parried.
Now here's the thing. Do the other one real quick. Do them both. Not to him, do them away from him. So you can actually tell a difference in the diamond.
Yes.
So this diamond has no lit up peaks.
Yeah.
Where the other one does. So if you're playing a lot, you can discern them.
Yes.
It's not super easy,
Right.
but
And
there
then-
is a difference in look.
And
It's
that'll
also
open up.
one of those things where if you're looking for that, it kind of has to be held long enough for you to notice which one it is, and even then, it
Probably
might
too
be
late.
too
Yeah,
late.
there's going to be layers and layers of mix-ups of doing it and then dashing out of it and all kind of good stuff. Is there any other normal you wanted to show?
And I think that that's like her best mix-up tool. And I honestly, when I'm watching this, it really feels like she plays like a Mortal Kombat X character in that kind of sense. That she's got some mix, like she's got an overhead attack, she's got a low attack. She has to fully commit to both of them. And this is a completely next level mix-up. You know, does the opponent know? Are they just going to take a chance and try and poke out of it? Or are they going to let me do the unblockable? Having said that, if you do the unblockable, then you get hit full screen, and then you're kind of out of her pressure. So, is it worth it to maybe take it? Like sometimes when you're playing somebody, you actually take the last hit of a string. Like if you're playing Superman, he keeps doing 4, 2, 3 breath over and over again. Just take the breath and get pushed full screen, so you can, like if you're Dr. Fate or something, so you can play your game. You know. So it's something that's just a question that I had about it. Also, we will see a little bit more regarding the full screen later. Like a few people said, I'm super late to making this video, but when you work 3 jobs and you got a little boy, you get around to it when you can. So let's get back into it.
You should show her duck.
That's true because it just looks cool. And her back 3 is one of my favorites in the game. And her forward 3, it's a Bulba Strike.
It does have different ranges.
Yes,
Which is
so.
different.
Yes, her forward 3, she can actually do close, medium, and far. Several characters have a close and medium one. She's the only one that has a far one. So her forward 3 can hit from pretty far away, and then she can run up and do a combo.
So for me, like players like me, that's like another special move.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna use it in ranges you normally would not use a forward 3, but I mean that's kind of the fun of it.
So that's kind of reminiscent of Necromancer Shinnok in kind of fist bash that he had. And I feel that's kind of how this character plays, a lot like kind of Shinnok / Shang Tsung, like very setup heavy, where you have to have a lot of knowledge about how the character works to use her correctly, which is what Shang Tsung was back in Mortal Kombat 9. And then some good range attacks that Shinnok had in Mortal Kombat X. So a lot of people are saying, oh, she looks a lot like Quan Chi just because she has a trance. I don't think this is anything like how Quan Chi played. So absolutely incorrect in my opinion. But that is a really cool move. I like that. And I'm really interested to see the frame data on that because it depends whether it's safe or unsafe. Because if it's plus on block, you could use that into one of our other special moves we're going to go into down the road and set up some interesting stuff. So let's get back into it.
Let's also check out her throw because it's definitely one of the coolest in the game.
Yeah,
I want to say
I just like how it came out a lot.
that's really cool. I remember when I first saw you. I first saw it when there was no like any sort of like cool effects to it yet.
Yes.
And I was still like, that's going to be amazing. And it turned out really well. And I do love the fact that every time we do a stream, we show the throw and we say that's the coolest throw we've seen yet.
That's actually a good point.
Like last time, like Adam,
Yeah, that's
his
true.
throw is baller.
And her down 2 is also, a lot of people even noticed in the trailer, her down 2 is fantastic. It's super fast, it hits super high. It's great. So, I think you can understand that you'll notice she doesn't have a lot of high-low mix-ups. Her big overhead is 1-2-2, the second hit, and her low, like we said, you have to commit if you want to do a combo. But in the mid to long range, she's really, really strong, and I think that complements her special moves. So we'll start with her Astral Soul Rip, where she tears her own soul out and then crushes it. This is a good combo ender. It's the move she'll do like a down 1 into it. If she wants like a quick down 1.
It's her wake-up attack.
Right, it's her wake-up attack. It's punishable, but it has good range. It's one of those things where like...
It's also going to be hard to punish from further away.
Right, like it's one of those things where on paper it's super punishable, but if they're super far away, it's going to be kind of hard. And that's...
Just real quick, I'd like to see how much pushback that has, because if it is super punishable, you know, it might be a little bit more difficult than if it pushes you away and it's like minus 15. Not a whole lot of characters have a super fast advancing string, so something to think about. Anyways,
That's really her only typical by-the-numbers special move. From here on out, we're going to get weird.
You
Well,
should also
you meter
show
that.
the meter.
Oh yeah, that's a good
So
point.
it's not actually by the numbers.
Okay, so this is one of her resource moves. She will actually heal herself. Instead of it doing any more damage, she will take their soul into her body and absorb their soul energy into her health.
Yep. So
I really wish they would have shown how much life she actually gets back here, because that's like super important, I think. Because yeah, that can be a big game changer, you know, especially if you get to the end of the match and you need some health back. You know, and that's of course she says your soul is mine, so it's a little ode to Shang Tsung there. But that would have been something I'd like to see them show, but I realize they're on time constraints, so it's all good. We'll find out when she comes out in a few days.
it already is starting to get weird.
Yeah, and now we're gonna get really weird. So she has Hell's Gate, and once the gate is active, it will actually reflect projectiles back as her own energy beam. And the cool thing is, she is full, it's very fast, has really good recovery, lasts for a long, long time. And this move is going to complement the rest of her moveset. This is a move that's going to be great. She can put it out, and now Superman's like, oh man, doing Heat Zap is dangerous, and she's going to do her character power and her other buffs. Like, for example, her Curse, which I think is one of her core moves. She draws a pentagram, and then she will actually debuff the opponent.
So real quick, just talking about the projectile parry, the startup on that thing is super fast. That she really is such a defensive powerhouse. Like, if you make the right reads and you have the good reactions, then she's going to be a great character to play against anyone who's trying to zone you. And especially with the pentagram that's coming up that they're talking about. So if you're playing like a Dr. Fate or like Starfire or something like that, Starfire's interesting because she actually like kind of lobs the one kind of explodey thingy, so it might go over it. I don't really exactly know how that works yet. We'll find out, I suppose. But yeah, she could be a counter, and that kind of goes into, again, like a defensive character is someone that really just makes you play their game. And this looks like Enchantress is just that character. She is not a casual character from what I've seen so far. If you're just a casual player that, you know, wants to pick this game up and play at somewhat competitive level, I really don't think this character's for you. She's super deep. You really have to know all the options and have great reads and everything at the right time. She's going to take a lot of work, but it all pays off because she's going to be a great character at the end. But you definitely cannot just kind of willy-nilly play her, is kind of what I'm seeing. There's certain strategies that go along with each special move, when to use it, when not to use it, that kind of thing. But that's, again, the same with every character outside of maybe like Batman and Superman kind of thing. So anyways, sorry, again, ranting. We'll get back into it.
The interesting thing is this move does not actually hit. She does it and it's going to connect. Unless Superman is in an invincible state, like he's knocked down or he backdashes. Yeah. If she's able to point, he is cursed. Now,
Can you block it?
This is not. Yeah, this is not an attack you can block or duck or anything like that. So, what do the curses actually do?
So there's 4 different curses that can happen. That one, for example, prevents super meter from being gained. That one, if you meter burn a move, it damages you and gives Enchantress meter. One of them disables special moves from being used, and the last one is you take damage when you jump or duck. So if you put that on Sonic Fox, you're probably gonna win the game if you try to do that again.
Yeah, like, and you also notice
that burn though.
At first you're thinking,
Shouts to Dizzy, man,
50%
that was
who cares?
awesome.
But that's the beauty of Enchantress. She's gonna put the wall up, and then she's gonna do a curse. She's gonna put the wall up, she'll put her character power, which we'll show later, and she's gonna do a curse. And then you try to get in, because you don't want to deal with the curse, and that's when she starts hitting her with a long range.
Now, does the curse stack?
You keep refreshing the same one. If you curse someone and curse them before it's up, it just reapplies the same curse, so you don't get a reroll or anything. But
Does it increase damage, or does it?
It still does that 3% or whatever
Yeah.
damage. So, for example, if you get special move disable curse, and you're against a zoner, you can keep doing that, and you're like, hey, you gotta come to me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. You'll notice from full screen, she doesn't have that much of a presence in terms of like a projectile or like
Also, just interesting fact, she does indeed have an air dash, and it actually looks really good. Covers a lot of distance. A lot of air dashes in this game are not equal, and hers looks like maybe one of the better ones. And I'm assuming that's because she doesn't have like a true projectile. It's more of a, I'm just going to stop you from zoning me than actually like, yeah, you're just going to sit there full screen helpless. if you're Dr. Fate, like, what the hell do you do, right? So just wanted to note that.
Teleporting in like that, but you have to come to her because this is going to add up.
Yeah, that's a special move disable one right there.
So
real quick, so I just want to talk about chat, because chat is fun for me to talk about.
Okay.
One person said, finally, a true anti-zoner. The next thing underneath it is,
Okay.
oh, a zoner.
Yeah, she's
Well,
not.
I mean,
It's just funny how they're...
Yeah. Maybe against another melee character, you'll see her do stuff like that, but
She checks all the boxes.
This curse, if you do it, you'll see it takes quite a while to happen. You're not going to be using it too much for.
But
hardcore
there's a trick to
zoning.
it. When you meter burn it, she can actually meter burn it at almost any point in it. And
Right.
She'll actually.
That's one of the interesting things too. If
And then
say
that's-
for example you're cursing kind of far away, I'm like, I want to stop her.
Yeah.
And-
Boom.
Yeah.
And then you get that's your main combo starter. So that's both a combo star and kind of a trap move.
So it
That's really cool because that can you could just do it right in somebody's face, and they either respect it, and they get hit by whatever curse it is, or you can interrupt it with meter burn and get a full combo if the hits. I really would be interested to see if it's plus unblock at all. Being a meter burn move, they try and do something like that, but it's pretty powerful. Like you can get a full combo, so I imagine it's probably like -6, something like that. I have no idea.
turns into it
Yes.
into a wall bounce.
Which I really love. It's one of the few moves in the game that's not a physical hit at all, and yet when you meter burn it, it becomes one of her best physical hits. So now let's talk about her mana shield. When this is active, instead of taking damage from her health bar, if I am hit, I will actually take the damage through her super meter. So check out her super meter.
I think did you change it off for refill? Yeah.
All right, so now if I'm hit, you can see it's actually draining her super meter. This is an awesome, really interesting meta shifting move.
And that
for,
doesn't.
like,
She
in-game
takes
scenarios.
no damage there.
She will take no damage while she has it active and while she has super meter to take.
So we're looking.
So as they mentioned, this is a really meta, game-changing move here, because if you think that it's going to be a close match, you need to hold on to your meter. Like you can't spend your meter leading up to it. Like you need to save that meter to save your life at the end of the round. So if you can bring the match close enough in your favor that you can afford to take a big combo or something like that, that's where the strategy is. Like you can't use meter burn moves if you plan to use this to save your life afterwards. So that whole mind game in and of itself, and then being the other person looking at her meter and saying she has 4 bars of meter, she's almost dead, I know she's going to do this. What do? Because you know a combo isn't going to kill her. Do you try and build more meter yourself while slowly trying to take down hers? Again, just such a defensive, just a tank character, such a lame character. I love it. This is the more that I watch this, I'm really enjoying her playstyle and really how deep she goes.
In a tournament,
Yes.
end of the game, Enchantress her life bar is flashing.
And she has made the decision, hey, instead of clashing or using my super, I'm going to hoard this meter. She activates it. She can be hit. It's not like you gain armor, but she will not take the damage from her life bar. And that's going to allow her to take more risks, to be more crazy, and it's it's a huge lifesaver. We have had matches in the lab where it's like, why won't you die? And she just won't die. Because she
Right.
had 3 to 4 bars or 2 bars or whatever.
Yeah,
But then again, once that happens, if she does get comboed and she's on the ground, now she's missing 2 bars of meter or more.
Right, and that means she's not going to be able to clash, or will win a clash.
Or the clash might lose. Yeah.
She would not be able to meter burn this to do big combos. She wouldn't be able to get her health back with this. I think she's like a lot of characters in Injustice. She's not an overly strong character if she doesn't have meter. So it's you in Injustice. One of the key things is meter makes you really, really good. Clash saves your life. How do you weigh it? She has this third option, which I think is really cool. And it's not just end of game. That's just my favorite way.
Yeah.
You can use it for a Magic Pixel. Imagine an Enchantress player in tournament. The Magic Pixel scenario is already annoying. Like, I imagine her doing that.
There's actually even been first rounds where
To me, that's actually sometimes in the Injustice, the way our life bars work, you want to get as much damage out. Like if you've drained their life bar, you don't want to lose yours. You want to get as much damage out till you go to second round. Too.
Yep, absolutely. So, moving on, she has this parry move. when this is active, she will actually teleport behind them. And then, depending on the recovery move, she can actually get a combo. So this is one of the very rare full combo parries that doesn't use a bar meter. And she has a second option. She'll actually drop down from the ground, and she can get a full jump in. So the parry's not that fast. It's got to be one of the slower ones, right?
So again, going back to the whole defensive character thing, and it depends on the recovery of the move, which is really interesting. That kind of involves that you need to actually lab moves that you're going to parry a lot to understand what you can punish and what you can't. Alternatively, you can kind of choose the parry and go for the cross-up on the same side. So there's a 50-50 there. If you're not 100% sure the recovery frames of the move that you're about to punish, if you don't know what recovery frames mean, I made a video about it a long time ago. I'll try and put a link somewhere up here so you can learn about it. But yeah, you need to lab this stuff, like moves that you parry often. Again, just showing the real depth of this character. This is going to take a whole lot of lab time and games and matches and stuff to really get this character. So I really enjoy the fact that they took a popular character and they made her to where she's really good, but she's only going to be good if you really understand how she works. That's where she's overpowered. She has great tools, but you need to understand them.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to use a bar or meter, and if they do a move with a lot of recovery, they're going to get blown up. So it's pretty effective.
Yeah, it's also interesting too because if you parry a down one, for example, you're not going to be able to punish it because they recover so fast. But you're going to appear from the ceiling or behind them, and they have to react to that. It's like might be hard for them to even just block which side you're going to end up on.
So let's go into her super move before we talk about her character power.
Sounds good.
Really cool, by the way. One of the best in the
Superman
game.
got beat up by his own soul.
Well, he's weak to magic.
Right,
so.
that's canon.
Oh,
all
man.
Kryptonians. Which means an answer to Supergirl, finally.
Right.
Right, Enchantress. Yeah. All right, so her character power is super interesting. She actually summons a demon, the Lord Zabulba. Now, Zabulba acts on his own. I'm not controlling him. Once I summon him, Zabulba is going to go forward and follow the opponent, and eventually he's going to do this big overhead. The explosion also acts as a hit, so you can see it's 2 hits. So if he tries to armor it, he's going to get blown up, like literally blown up by that hellfire. But Zabulba has a few commands of his own. I can actually stop him. And now, if Superman tries to walk forward, you can see he's blocked. So this is absolutely awesome for, hey, I'm going to do my curses, I'm going to turn my mana shield on, I'm going to get my wall out. The demon totally complements all the moves we just talked about. And the last one is she can summon him and then blow him up by snapping her fingers and he blows up. So Zabulba, there's going to be all... This is, if you are one of those players that you like your weird corner, unblockable setups, you can go nuts. Like, what are some of the ideas you came up with?
Yeah, I mean, there's situations where, you can... standing 2 is a restand move. I don't know if we talked about that. But, yeah, you can go standing 2 into, charging the 3 while Zabulba is in that defensive stance behind you. And you might let it rip and hit them if they try and jump out.
Let it rip.
Yeah, Beyblade. But
That's not what we were thinking.
or if if they just sit there and wait, I'm scared, you hit them with the unblockable and then do the attack and you can get a combo off it. There's lots of crazy stuff. I mean, I'm excited to see what people come up with.
So here's an idea where they kind of gave you the option to have a corner game. If you really want to be a more offensively based player, you can have an overhead and low at the same time to go into a combo. You can mix that up and have a low and overhead, depending on how you time it. So it's it's really neat trait that I think that she has. The actual block ability that he has, I don't think will be super useful to her unless she's in like a zoning game or something like that, just to stop somebody from advancing on her, because she doesn't have really a full screen presence other than her hex that she does that does a little bit of damage to you, but it's only like 30 damage, so it's nothing really to write home about. So I don't think that'll be used as much as the overhead one, but we'll see. We'll see.
Interesting ways to use the demon.
Yeah, and like I said, it totally complements her move list. She's one of those characters where once she gets going, she can really steamroll you. Like it's like a snowball rolling downhill. She's got the wall out, she's got the curse out, then she gets mana shield, and she has 2 bars, so you're not even gonna hit her. The demon totally starts that. You're like, all right, it's my time now.
So you want to get on top of this real quick. You want to because like her wake up's fine.
Her wake up's it gets the job done.
Right. So generally, like, get on top of it early and win, or she might start using all of the what are we calling them?
Resources.
The resources she has. Yeah, absolutely.
One thing to note too about the curse is if you have an opponent curse and do certain moves, they get amplified and consume the curse. Like her throw will do more damage than the standard 11% and give her half a bar of meter.
And here's another example. You can see normally they fall out of this. However, if you have the curse up, when it breaks, they will not, and you actually get a restand. So there's another example of setups you can find with that.
Oh, yeah.
That's really interesting. And again, I'd like to know the frame data on that just so you can kind of see how much of a restand that actually is, because that would definitely be worth it to end some combos in that. If you're at advantage, I'm assuming you probably are for how long that they're frozen for. But if it's something like the Molten Trap where you could end the combo in that and then do a bunch of buffs and then they come out and they're in a restand and it's still your turn, then that's where it kind of gets dirty. And I think that's where, you're going to get her corner game going, which is probably going to be outside of her defense and just bait and punish type of stuff. That's probably where she's going to get the majority of her offense going.
Plenty of stuff, yeah. So
let's her go hard in the paint a little bit.
Absolutely, and that's how she rolls. Mm-hmm. She learned that from June.
Did she though?
Absolutely, that's canon.
Okay, not everything's canon, Steve.
That's canon with a K.
Fine.
So, I think that's kind of Enchantress' main gameplay here.
I like it. Can we let's take a look? Let's talk for a second before we go back to what we're going to do next. We have some fun stuff happening in a moment.
Well, I do have loadouts.
We're going to do that in a second.
Okay.
I just want to say a few things real quick. We got the Fighting Game of the Year from Game Informer.
Yes, that's awesome.
So that's a big thing. So thank you to all of our fans who voted for.
So I think that's it for the competitive side of Enchantress. I don't really want to go into gear moves or anything like that because we are a competitive channel and we play more for playstyle and just to be the better player. So if there's enough demand, then I'll kind of break down her gear moves and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, she's a super deep character. Definitely going to take you a lot of time to get good with her, but if you are a Enchantress main, you're going to be very unstoppable if you put the time and the work in. So anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything that you missed or you disagree with me at any point, feel free to post in the comments so I can check it out. And as always, hashtag bonehawks and all that stuff, and we will see all you guys in the next video.